The meeting was called because we wanted all the leaders, all the parties in the country to appreciate that there is a very serious crisis in Sri Lanka, that the situation there is unprecedented in terms of the what we are seeing, the financial and social and political consequences of that. It is a very close neighbor, so naturally the level of concern as well as the worry that there would be spillover to India is there. There are in any neighboring country, if there is a instability or that there is violence, it is something which is of deep concern to us. We have naturally political interest there as well. And again, we have long-standing issues there. Some of the issues came up in terms of the fishermen's issues, which is why Rupala ji was also there with me. Now, we had done two presentations. One was a presentation which was done from a political perspective, from a foreign policy perspective, which highlighted which explained to all the leaders the political turbulence in Sri Lanka, the economic crisis which was there, the debt situation, the support that India has given, $3.8 billion assistance. No other country has given this level of support to Sri Lanka this year, and the initiatives that we are taking, how to help them and facilitate their engagement with other bodies, including IMF and with other debtors. Now, in all of this, many of the members were concerned about what are the lessons of Sri Lanka, and we had anticipated that that question coming. We also have seen some speculation, in our view, a very misplaced speculation in the press saying something has happened in Sri Lanka, so should we be worrying about situations in some parts of India. So what we had also done was we had asked Finance Ministry to make a presentation which brought out state-wise the expenditure to revenue comparison, the liabilities to the GSDP, the growth rate of liabilities of various Indian states, the off-budget borrowings that they have done, the mortgaging of assets, the unpaid power dues to Gencoms and Discoms, and the outstanding guarantees which states have. So we had a very, very good discussion. Members were very keen to know how much we had done. There was a lot of concern about the humanitarian aspect of this. I explained to them, while we put it as $3.8 billion. $3.8 billion is a figure. That figure has fuel, it has food, it has medicines, it has daily essentials which Sri Lankan public needs. So that we have approached it in a very humanistic way as part of our neighborhood first policy, and that we are today they are still in a very delicate, very fragile situation. As their own discussions with IMF go forward, whatever support we can give them in terms of working with the relevant agencies and institutions, we will do. So there was a very open discussion. Almost all the political party leaders spoke. I think many of them appreciated that we had stepped forward in the manner in which we had. In wherever they had doubts, I think I'm confident in saying that we were able to clarify it. And as I said, many of them had this legitimate concern. What are the lessons which are there to be drawn? And I think in fact, I ended this meeting on the note that the big lessons of Sri Lanka to be drawn are fiscal prudence and good governance. And fortunately, in this country, in the leadership of the Prime Minister, we have both in very ample measure.
The opposition parties are basically saying, Mr. Jaishankar, the opposition parties are saying that this is a political meeting. The opposition parties are saying that this is turned into a political meeting. Why have you highlighted certain states in terms of showing the finances? Why haven't you highlighted the borrowings of the centre?
Sir, I'm just adding this question. कि सिंस कुछ स्टेट्स का जिक्र भी हुआ है, तो किस स्टेट्स को आपको लगता है कि हम लोग श्रीलंका जैसे हालात में स्टेट्स में पहुंचे?
नहीं, ऐसा है श्रीलंका जैसे हालात में हम तो नहीं सोचते कि भारत कभी जाएगा, हाँ, पर there was a reason for what we, there was a logic to what we were trying to do. We were trying to show the importance of, highlight the importance of fiscal prudence. So it was not that we highlighted one or two states. In fact, we had almost every state listed in some order, saying, when it comes to expenditure to revenue, what is the order? When it comes to, let us say, growth rate of liabilities, what is the order? So there was no political intent in this. It was a very matter-of-fact, data-based presentation of a comparative situation in India, so that every political party, every leader leaves with a good, clear message on the importance of being fiscally prudent. So it was a very clear, good governance message.
Sir, you said that India has already given assistance of $3.8 billion. So what more the government is contemplating to give?
And anything on $1 billion currency swap with RBI and 500 million of extension for payments?
No, we have already done a currency swap of 400 million. Right now, the ball is in the court of Sri Lanka and IMF.
Okay.
हाँ, उनको बैठ के उनके अभी स्टाफ टॉक्स हो रहे हैं. वो जब सहमति पहुंचे, उनके बीच में एक समझौता होना चाहिए. हाँ, when they have a plan, they have an agreement how to go forward, then we will see what is the supportive role that we can see. Our goodwill today is very, very clear. I mean, as I said, no other country has put forward, and even we have in our history actually never taken this kind of proactive, very, very supportive measure for a neighbor. So one Prime Minister keeps saying about neighborhood first. Today, this is a very graphic demonstration of what is the meaning of neighborhood first. That when one of your neighbors is in very, very deep trouble, you are willing to step forward. So we will wait for the situation, for the Sri Lankans themselves to clarify the situation with the army.
सर, ये मीटिंग जो है भारत के राज्यों के लिए भी एक सबक है. जैसे आपने जो फिगर दिया कि उस तरह के हालात से बचने के लिए राज्यों को भी अपनी फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन सुधारने पे ध्यान देना चाहिए.
जो तो प्रश्न नहीं है ना, ये तो आपका स्टेटमेंट है, तो मैंने मना तो नहीं किया.
क्या कई राज्यों ने जो आपत्ति दर्ज की थी उनका यही कंसर्न था कि पहले सेंटर अपनी फिजिकल कंडीशंस को सामने रखे फिर स्टेट्स पे चर्चा करें.
नहीं भाई, ऐसा है, हम जो हैं, we did a comparative exercise so that we wanted to show examples of who has been fiscally prudent and who has not. So इसमें people should, there is a look, ultimately figures are figures. तो अगर किसी का नाम ऊपर आए तो उसका कारण भी है ना कि उनकी बोरोइंग थी, इसीलिए तो उनका दर्जे में नंबर आगे था.
Sir, so according to that figure, would you like to share some name of the states?
No. See, I am not here to score domestic political points. I am here to primarily focus. See, the majority of time we spent was on Sri Lanka. Majority of questions I got was on Sri Lanka. Majority of explanations I gave was Sri Lanka. But the lessons of Sri Lanka are very, very strong. The lessons of Sri Lanka are fiscal prudence. Lessons of Sri Lanka are responsible governance. That people should not, that there should not be a culture of freebies. These are the objectives. So I think beyond that, to take it in the direction which you are doing, I don't think is a
नमस्कार, मैं हूं मानक गुप्ता. अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर जरूर करें, और हां, हमें सब्सक्राइब और फॉलो करना ना भूलें ताकि आप देश और दुनिया की कोई खबर मिस ना करें. तो जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ और देखते रहिए News24.